days, about 6 days before the event. Yeah, and we have the Somalia version ready, right?
Yes, we both have it, and
okay.
Yes, we both have it, and then will be posted for every day next 6 days.
Okay, excellent. So that's the best news, John. Thank you very much. Now, where are we at with the agenda, Kathleen? I think Vincent sent you everything that you needed. Catherine?
Talking about the agenda or the invite? Because now that we are confirmed, we can have the agenda done. It's just filling in who is talking when, and then we have the flyer which is going with the invite. So that's just needs to go to Eugenia for sending out. So as soon as we are done with this, I'll send the flyer to Eugenia with now all the details. So we were just waiting for that John to confirm whether Ministry of Finance is available. So those should be coming as well as a tentative program for the day.
Perfect. Thank you.
From Eugenia.
Yeah, please make sure you do share those with Doreen so that Christina has them.
Yes. I think we need to clear those ones to be firmed up well. So when we discuss among the team, we can see, especially the program, but the flyer goes with the invites. It's the only thing which is gives more information on the event.
Vera, don't we have an agenda already before you left? We knew how it would go. It will be Vera, it will be Christina. After Christina, it is the presenters, John Randa, Matthias, Vera. And then it goes on. I thought we already worked that one out.
Yes, we just needed to firm it up with the date. So that's what Catherine is saying. Yes. That she will finalize those, just entering the date and send it to Eugenia, and then that can go out to all the stakeholders, government, and all the internal participants as well, so people are clear as to how they.
No, there are two things. There are two things. The flyer as a tentative lot of schedule. I think the program you're asking, that's a bit detailed and normally just for the team. We don't have to send it out to everyone. Yeah. So we have the agenda, the broad agenda is in the flyer, but the detailed on who is speaking what time, that is for us to just manage the day.
Okay, and I need both to go out. So, the generic one can go out to the external stakeholders. The detailed one needs to go to this team, including Christina and Matthias. And the sooner the better, so that everybody is clear about the flow of things. I'm not sure we are going to have another call before the event unless everybody feels a pressing need to do that. Okay. Now, the third thing I wanted to check in on is the speech for Christina, the talking points rather.
Vera, we do have a draft which we'll share. We are working on it. We'll have a draft which we'll share maybe before lunch.
Okay, that would be great, because then if we can finalize that today, we can share it.
John, this has to go to DC, it has to go to Phil, and he has to do all the clearances. So I think the latest Ishmahan would want, I think it's a summary translation for her. She doesn't have to say everything. So I think it has to go to Phil for some inputs, then come back. I think also Helen Dennis. So I think there is a process on that one. So we can say we have a clearance maybe by tomorrow, latest Monday, then Ishman can work on, the brief translation she will need to do.
Actually, the part Vera this event, because this will be the first event since Christina joined us, I thought it will include what is in the ACU, but I think our stakeholders, people who will be there, would like to know what the bank is doing to support Somalia during this time of COVID. So I think that is where we want to pass it by feel. But yesterday, when we attended the function of End Poverty, I saw the country manager for Rwanda were highlighting how we are already supporting Somalia. So I thought maybe on one hand, there's no need for Phil to work on it. It's you who can fill in what was already agreed with the CMU, what the manager needs to say on the World Bank support to Somalia during this COVID time. What do you think?
I think that needs to be cleared by the team. And when you draft those talking points, it would be good to share them with both Phil and Matthias.
Okay.
Just, particularly if you want them to capture the high-level COVID response for
Yes.
Somalia. And I'm sure Christina will also have some thoughts on this. So my suggestion would be have the first draft, share it with Phil and Matthias today. If they can get it back to you tomorrow, and then you can share that with Christina and Alan.
We'll keep you on copy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And
Yeah, I
then
think
that way
that's a
you're
good-
capturing. Sorry, go ahead, Kathleen.
No, I think that's a good plan in that sense.
Yeah, and that way you get both the technical side from the team supporting Somalia, and you also get the CMU view. My sense is that Christina has the things she likes to highlight. So she would like to look at this very, very closely and see what else she wants to include in there. So maybe, we should have a target to get this to Ismahan on Monday, which gives her
Sarah?
enough time to translate. Yes.
Hi, just a heads up. Christina is off this afternoon all the way through Monday, afternoon DC time. So we kind of have a very tight window for us if you need anything back from her today. She's off from DC PM time today all the way back on Monday.
Okay. Well, I think the plan still holds. Let's have Phil, and thank you, Doreen, very much for highlighting that. So we have a clear sense of the timelines. Let's share it with Phil and Matthias. Let them input into it. We can share it with Christina and Alan. I'm sure Alan will get back to us before the week ends or by Monday. And then if Christina has some last minute additions, she can do that onto the draft we already have. Most country managers and country directors normally change their talking points anyway. If she gets that to us by Tuesday, since it's just a summary Ismahan is doing, I think she still has the window to work on that. I wish she was here to speak to, the kind of timeline that would work for her. Yeah, but let's get the basics out first, and the basic clearances rather out first, and then we can let Christina know. Doreen, may I ask for a favor? Is it possible for you to drop a note to Christina letting her know that this will be coming her way so she can keep an eye on it when she's back on Monday?
Sure, will do.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Okay.
Okay. Anything else on this?
Maybe copy me?
Yes.
Sure.
So
Yes,
John.
Yes. We will copy. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so John and Kathleen, please, look in the boss lady during.
Well, I think Ismahan is now online. And see.
Okay. Ismahan, good morning.
Samuel and Vincent together, we've organized it now. So I'm back.
It's nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. We were just discussing the timelines for the talking points, which you need to summarize.
Yeah.
Looks like we are not going to be able to have those until Monday, if we are lucky. And that's just because the country manager is going to be away from today. So my question to you is, if you get this on Tuesday morning, are you able to summarize it and be ready for Wednesday morning? It's going to be about a page and a half.
No, so, and this will be her talking points, right?
Yes.
I would prefer it. So the meeting will be, okay, sorry, just so that I am, okay, so now it's
The
no
meeting
longer
is
on
on Wednesday morning from 9 to 11.
Wednesday, but this is now November we're looking into. Bear with me.
Not November, we are in October, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
nice to live in the future.
but so the meeting, so it's not going to be on the 28th of, sorry, so it's still on the same date, like we already agreed on the 28th. But you said
Yes.
it looks like it won't be, you were saying, okay, sorry. So on the 28th is the actual launch meeting.
Mhm.
And you're asking me if she can send it to me on the Tuesday for the Wednesday.
Tuesday morning, if we get the talking points to you on Tuesday morning, a day before the event, are you
I will
able to
prefer it.
summarize?
I will prefer it on Monday, if possible. If
Okay.
not, on Tuesday as early as possible, because I need to get, because her talking points will be very important. And I think to translate it, which I will supervise and do, I need at least, I can't afford it to be last minute, so that I am fair to her, so that I can translate everything as she speaks word by word. So I would prefer it really on Monday afternoon or on Tuesday morning as early as possible.
Okay, so here we are in a bit of a quandary. We were actually hoping we would get the talking points to you before the weekend or latest by Monday morning. The problem here is that Christina is going to be away from today, returning on Monday, and she's based in Washington, D.C. So if you factor in the time difference, we are not going to be able to get this at the very earliest Monday evening, our time. So I'm wondering whether it's possible for you to work within those timelines.
Yeah, I mean that is the other option. I don't mind working with her on those timelines. Will you like it? Will it be easier if I also liaise with her directly, so that as she goes through her talking points, I am then able to do the Somali version concurrently?
I'm not too sure how that works. I mean, we can get to you the near final draft. The thing is that she has to review her own talking points. And I think that is only fair. And nobody would want to speak on something they've not seen. But she's not going to be in the office. So the earliest she can review them is Monday afternoon, our time.
That is fine. So in the past, I was able to do that because when I was doing the security sector reform work, we were working with Bernard, who was our team lead. So often I was working on his timeline. So that is not a problem. So if we get it, like, that is workable with me. Like if she sends it, if she can send it to me the end of working day for her Washington, then that is fine. So that would be Monday evening on my side.
Okay, so here's what I would suggest. Doreen works very closely with Christina. She's the Somalia boss. And she'll be liaising with Christina on the speech once we have a draft ready for her review. So maybe you can liaise closely with Doreen
Yes,
to make sure that you get the draft as soon as Christina reviews it. Maybe you can be copied on the email that goes out to Christina.
Yeah, please. Yeah,
that's okay.
Could I also email Doreen about this, or will somebody email her? Because I've worked with Doreen, so
She's
I know
actually on the
Doreen.
call.
Oh,
She's on
hi,
the call.
Doreen. How are you?
Hi, hi, Swan.
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you. I hope you're well and your kids are well.
Thank you, they are. Thank you.
Good. So yes, Doreen, yes. So as Vera suggested, I'll be able. Yeah, we can work on this together with regards to the new country manager's timeline for delivering our talking points.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Ismahan.
ladies. You
Thanks,
are the
Vera.
best. Yeah. So that's
Vera,
it. Yes.
I'm just concerned on the question on the time. The way I'm hearing Ismahan is she going to read the whole thing or just a summary? Because we have 2 hours and we need also to manage that. So I thought just the highlights of the key points which Christina will say. Those are the key ones to be translated, and of course it's someone would be alert for any changes which may come. So it's important to know the timeline, the time factor, the key points in the talking points, and how much you should translate. I think that should also be a basis on how much time we should use. Thanks, Hova.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a very critical point. And Ismahan, I hope you had what Catherine say. We do not require you to translate the speech verbatim, the talking points rather, verbatim. What we will need you to do is to have maybe half a page to 1 page at the maximum. I would say 3/4 of a page, really, of the highlights of what Christina is going to say. And that's what you're going to read out. And that's bearing in mind that we have 2 hours and, presentations that need to be made. The minister needs to speak, and then we have to leave plenty of room for Q&A. So is that clear? You're muted. You're talking to yourself.
Sorry, thank you very much. Catherine, you've raised a very good point. As time is not on our side. And Vera, I will translate her key points, but I would like to know what her key points will be so that I don't decide for her and then omit information that is very important to her from the key points. This is where it comes to me and her and Doreen finalizing what she would like to raise for her 2 points and as for her key points, and that she's also aware of maybe that she then gives me a summary of her key points in which then I will do a direct translation. What I don't want is to get her talking points and I then decide what her key points are, and then there comes a mismatch. I would like to have an agreement of what her key points will be so that then I say it in Somali.
Now the one on mute. Sorry. I was saying that, is this something perhaps John and Catherine can provide guidance on? What are the key 3 to 4 things, out of her speech that you would like the Somali public to know?
Yeah. I mean, we can do that, but I also think Doreen plays a key role when the draft goes to her. She can just ask for heads up. What is it you would like to be said in Somali? Because we have a translator on the event, so she can help us also in that.
Okay, I think that's fair enough. Doreen, are you okay with that, boss lady?
John,
Mind
what
running
do you
that by
think?
me again?
I was
Um,
go ahead, Vera.
Go ahead, Catherine.
Yes, Doreen, I was asking your help. I know we can highlight the key points from our talking points, the final talking. Okay, I think we were asking for your help in terms of just getting the key points from Christina, what she would like to be translated into Somali, and because we have someone who can do that. Once she finishes talking, we can just give a key summary in Somali for the rest of the audience. So that's what we are asking for your help, but we can also, John and I can also step in once we have the final talking points. Thanks. Over.
Okay, okay. You let me know.
Vera, I have a question. Will she read out concurrently or maybe after Christina is done?
It will be after Christina is done. We do not have the capacity for simultaneous interpretation.
Just to agree with Vera, I think it's best that I do it after when she finishes her introduction, and then I speak for her, and from her speech, I will even say from her speech, these are the bits I would like to let you know, and that will be the key points of the message she has for Somalia as the new country manager. And it's best to not, yeah, like you said, Vera, yeah, to do it after she speaks.
Yes, it will have to be, because for WebEx we do not have the translation function. Zoom does have that, but unfortunately we won't be using Zoom, at least not this time around. So it will have to be after. Evelyn, any other question? And by the way, everybody, I'd like to welcome Evelyn Situma. She is the external affairs focal point for IFC.
Thanks, Vera. I don't have any other question, but I'll side by you later on about our Somali team.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Okay, so are we okay with the talking points? We can close that chapter and move on to the next thing. Good.
Yes, I'm okay with that. Yeah. Yeah. Have I missed the agenda? No.
The agenda will be sent over the next 1 or so days. So, keep an eye out for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Hassan and Mohammed, I think this is where now we need to work with you, and Vincent and Wycliffe. Is he on here? Yes. I'd like to go into the details of the live broadcast. Vincent, maybe you can walk us through in terms of what we have. I know you sent the WebEx event link, or rather invite. Thank you very much. You also sent the YouTube streaming channel. But Hassan, are you still online, Mohammed?
Yeah, we are still online. Yeah, with you.
Okay, so Vincent, maybe you can walk us through the setup, how it will look like, and then we can hand over to Hassan and Mohammed to let us know how they will connect to both WebEx and the YouTube link. Over to you, Vincent.
I think we have the YouTube link, and also you try to give us an webpack, and then you will invite us. So I think we will use YouTube link when it starts on live. So I will connect, and we will connect it to our studio TV live. So I think we will use this link, the main event, and it's work, as I see. I don't know how.
Thank you, Hassan. Can you hear me? Yeah, we hear
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I was just going to also add that so far we have 2 machines from the studio, and one we will use as a backup because it's no longer necessary to pick the feed from the second machine, since the YouTube link is already active and it's live. And what we need to do on the day is, as Vera previously suggested, we will connect early for everybody to test their system, at least the key speakers. Everybody else, I think we can go ahead and Vera was suggesting that we can downgrade anybody who is not meant to speak to be an attendee so that it doesn't show the camera option and we see a blank picture. So in terms of viewing, I think this will offer a better experience to external viewers. Now, what this means is on the day, the link I have sent are for attendees and panelists. So if we can agree on who exactly is a panelist on the day of the event right now, I will downgrade everybody else to be an attendee on that day. So in terms of the transmission, I think Hassan and Mohammed are okay. They can give us their end. We see their picture of very good quality. Just a few reminders that please ensure that the machines that we're going to use are on Ethernet cable. Also ensure that the power is connected throughout. Let's not be on battery. And then if you could avoid movement, I know it's a studio, so that should not be an issue between the speakers from the studio. That should be great. And from our end, I think we are fine. Anybody that we need to confirm as an attendee, we will do so as a panelist as well. But if you have questions, Hassan, I'm here to confirm. Wycliffe is also online to answer any other questions you have, sorry.
Vincent, I have a question very quickly, if I can come in. Is the test YouTube link live right now?
Correct, it should be live.
Okay, is it possible for you and Hassan and Mohammed to kind of test whether they are able to pick it up?
Hassan, can you confirm that you can see the link?
Yeah, well, we see the link. Yeah, I see it. It's working. So 2 persons watching now, and it's 26 minutes ago. I'm trying it. 26 minutes ago.
Hassan, sorry. Okay. Hassan Abowe, and ma isoo diri kartaa linkiga saana tahay ma fiican tahay
fiican khayr ayu ustaad
nabad alhamdulillah. And what I was saying is if Hassan can send me the link also.
What?
It's on the
chat. Link is in the chat. It's on the chat. If you click on it, you connect directly.
Yeah.
Ismahan, if you can check the chat function, the link is there and you can connect on it. And this is only for this meeting. There's a separate YouTube link that we will be using for the main event next week. Right, Vincent Wycliffe?
That's correct, Vera. So the link for the main event is also on the same email I sent. I can resend again just to make sure everybody is comfortable with that day so that we eliminate the dry run to avoid any confusion. This meeting, I will resend again.
I think that would be helpful, Vincent, if you can send another email with just details after this for next week's meeting. You can do that today or tomorrow, just so that we are sure people will be connecting to the correct link and not making any mistakes.
Excellent. I will do that with a final email to everybody.
Vinny, I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
The stream is delayed or something? Is that how it usually works?
That's correct. It should be delayed by a few seconds because of transmission.
Okay. Thank you.
And so from the external participant perspective, they will not see it as a delay because they will be following up. You're seeing the delay because you are both in the live session and you're seeing the other link, YouTube link. But from an external perspective, if you're just following up on the YouTube link, it should not be an issue.
Thanks, Vinny.
Okay, that's helpful as long as the link is working and it can be picked up. Hassan, do you have any questions? It looked like you did. Hassan?
It's okay. I don't have any question. What about Brahma? Do we start on Brahma or the event?
Sorry, say that again.
Promotion of the events where I think we didn't have yet. We didn't get yet.
Okay, so Wasame is on the line. We have both the English video as well as the Somali one ready. We just wanted to be sure that the minister had confirmed. So Wasame will send that to you. We've approved it. And you can start using it today on your Twitter handle and also on your TV broadcast.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. Now, one last question I have is for Mohammed. Since he's going to go live about 10 minutes before the main broadcast at 9, Mohammed, are you clear about what it is you're going to be talking about during those 10 minutes before you hand over to me?
Yeah, thank you, Farah. That's what I want to ask you.
So you need help with some talking points?
I just need some clear information. I mean, I want to know what I'm going to talk about at the beginning of the program. I want to even know what kind of language I'm using at the moment I'm opening the program. Am I using English or Somali? So just need some little bit information.
Okay, so since you're going to be broadcasting to a largely Somali audience, our preference would be that you use Somali predominantly. So whatever it is I share with you, I'll share with you some generic, context setting messages about Somalia, which I'll have pulled out of the report anyway, that you can use, but you have to translate that into Somali.
Right.
Yeah, is that okay? And then I think the last 1 minute before you hand over to me, perhaps you can do that in English. You will be on WebEx anyway, and all of us are going to be joining at 8:15, and it's really important that we all try and connect early so we can sort out any technical kinks and get comfortable, and then we will go live at 8:50. Do the context setting and then hand over to us. So do it in Somali, and then the last 1 minute or 30 seconds when we're about to go live, you can say something in English, translate it back to Somali, because we don't want your audience to be lost. And then I'll take it over from there at the top of the hour, at 9 a.m.
Or what I suggest is when he says all in Somali, and then he then wants you, Vera, to take lead, he can ask me in Somali to say to you, now Vera, you take over. Or maybe if he wants to continue in Somali, then I can say in English when he finishes, now the program is open for you, Vera, to do the introductions, if that works.
Okay, the only thing is that Mohammed will be at the studio and he'll be doing the live broadcast from the studio. We might not really have a good view of that, so we would like for him to do the conversation the way he normally does on a regular TV broadcast in Somali. And then at 9 a.m. on the dot, we will go live and he will hand over to us. And people can see that handover. What I'm trying to minimize here is too many people along the chain. And all I'll do is, welcome everybody and hand over to Christina, and then we'll get started. But Mohammed, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. What are you more comfortable with?
Really, that's great, Farah and Ismahan. I mean, I understood the points you suggested, and really, it's great, and that's good. So I will try to speak Somali mostly, and then in the last minutes, I'll be I will do in English, and then I will have it to you. That's okay for me.
Okay, excellent. So we are good on that. Thank you very much, Mohammed, and thank you, Ismahan and Hassan. Now, any other requests from you, Mohammed and Hassan?
I think for us, everything is okay here. Now Hassan with me, and I think we will try to increase the technical issue, and I think we can do the better. So we are ready. I don't know if Hassan has something.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, excellent.
Vera, I
I
just want to
think
comment.
that's, yes, please go ahead.
So just to remind everybody that once you're done speaking, always mute, because I don't know whether you were hearing the static and I kept on muting participants, because if you're speaking and Vera is addressing, let's say Mohammed, and your mic is still on as a third party, then we get to hear static in the call. So I'll keep on monitoring this, but Vera, what I suggest is just to minimize this, we can just have the exact number of people as panelists, and everybody else will just be an attendee. So they listen in, they do their part in the background if it's necessary, and we don't have too many people where I have to go and look for somebody to mute.
I think that's a fair request, and maybe we can just quickly run through so that there's consensus on who needs to be on the call, or rather who needs to be a panelist and who doesn't. Maybe we can go through it based on their agenda. So I think the first person perhaps who needs to be a panelist is Mohammed.
Go ahead, I'm listening and I'm taking notes, thank you.
Okay, I'm giving room for dissent. So if this is a democracy, so if anybody feels strongly that a person should or shouldn't, please step in and we can make a collective decision. Okay. So from my side, these are my my thoughts. I think Mohammed should be on there. I should be on there going by the agenda. Christina should be on there. Ismahan will be doing the summary for Christina, so she should definitely be there. We need to have Dr. Bailey on there. And then we have Catherine, who will be working with John and Matthias to manage the presentation. Then John himself, Matthias. And then for the Q&A session, I will be working with Ismahan to monitor the questions in the chat function. Ismahan will be looking out for the ones in Somali and translating them into English. And then we will, direct the questions to the right panelist. Those are the names I'm coming up with now. Am I missing anybody or any other, opposing thoughts? Definitely welcome.
The two Mohammeds, Mohammed Shah and Hassan Mohammed. Or how will it work?
It's Hassan and Mohammed.
Yes.
Just normally you can call Bashar, yeah?
Okay.
Okay. So perhaps we can give Hassan Mohammed a panelist function because he'll also be in the studio. But my only request for Hassan is for him not to have his video on. Much like we did with the Kenya broadcast.
Yeah, you are right.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay. Vincent Wycliffe, what do you think? I think we did the same thing for the Kenya economic update, where we had just very few people showing at the bottom.
Vera, I thought even us, after we have spoken, we'll just unmute, we'll just remove the video for ourselves, isn't it? So only when you are talking, or we have enough bandwidth, not.
I think you can always go off. I think the key people who need to
Yes.
probably stay on the screen are Christina, the minister, really,
Yes. Yes.
and the person in the studio. I think
Yes.
we can only have how many people here at the bottom, Vincent? 4 or 5?
Yeah, I think about four. Four should be enough.
Okay, excellent. Then that gives us Christina, the minister, and the 2 hosts at the studio and myself.
Vera, I know Alan also needs to play a role because you never know what kind of questions which will come on board, and he might be forced to talk.
Who, Alan Dennis?
Yes.
Okay, I mean, we can add him on. Has anybody spoken to him as a participant?
No, he called me. Actually, he thought they will launch on Thursday last week. He called me to apologize, but he wants to play a role. He wants to play a role.
Okay, excellent. It's always nice to have Alan because he's got that broad, global view. So if there are questions that go beyond Christina, he can handle them. I'm sure we'll get some debt relief related questions.
Exactly.
Which Alan can handle very well.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Excellent. So Vincent, Wycliffe, maybe if we could ask for a favor, do you mind adding Alan Dennis to the invite list and having him as a panelist?
Certainly, I will add him as a panelist, and when I send the final list to everybody with the connection details again, I will include him in that email as well.
Okay.
And also, Vincent, please this time don't forget me. Thank you.
No, we will not. I'm extremely sorry. And just for everybody's concern, I mean, we will open the call from 8, so you can just join in from 8. That should be okay.
Excellent.
Ismahan, I will call you personally to just make sure we start with.
Yeah, we'll call each other. Don't worry. Thank you. We've become the trios here now with WebEx. Thank you.
Vincent?
Okay.
Yes, Catherine.
Yeah, just a quick question. I'm worried about the link which goes to the Minister of Finance. It may be forwarded to other people. Is there a possibility that you can just elevate him once he joins to avoid so many people having to join in? So that we just send one link which everybody can use, and then we can have he can be elevated once he joins. Is that possible?
Okay, so what you're suggesting, but I assume that you're the one who's sending the link directly to him, no?
You never know. You never know.
Yes, Vincent. Her point is that once the invite gets to the minister's office, we have no control as to how many people it will be shared with. And unless you want 10 other people join, her suggestion is that, once he joins, we can elevate him as a panelist. We'll just have to keep an eye out for him. Right, Catherine?
Exactly.
Very good.
John, what do you think? I would sense that when an email goes to the ministry, we have no control on where it lands. Yeah.
Thank you for your foresight. It will be a mess, I know. So yeah, I fully agree with you that we should just elevate him just before. But what does that mean? What about if other ministers want to join and want to talk? I know the minister likes the show. Actually, this will be a great forum for him. For example, he's going to appear on Book Job. This is a great forum for him. But he might also be so excited and share the link to other people. So I agree with the fact that it should only be shared on the day of the meeting. However, what about if other ministers would like to join him? And
Okay, so I think, John, this is where maybe you come in. If you are talking to his PA, they can let us know if there are any other ministers who will join, so that, we can make sure that we add them as panelists. And you can be candid with them and, just say that to make sure the event flows well, we would like to know who are the other special guests invited by the minister so that we can add them as panelists.
Okay, I agree. Thank you.
Okay. And then you just share those with us. Or, you can copy Eugenia because you'll be quite a bit under pressure on that day, and then we can take that off your hands.
Okay, I agree. Thank you.
Just to be clear, Vera, I wanted to understand the emails and the communications to the minister. Catherine and John are taking care of those, right? So you just need to send.
Right.
Just send the email for attendees. Your point is actually very much on point, because if the minister forwards the panelist link to somebody else, the link will not work. So it is better to share the attendees list and the attendees link, and then I will be able to just elevate them as they join in. I don't know whether Ismahan or Catherine will be just pointing it on the chat and then say, please elevate this guy or this guy, and then I will do it.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you, Catherine. Excellent point.
So in my case, I will not be able to decide who is to be elevated, but if I get it from like if he's a minister, then probably I will say elevate, or otherwise I'm not too sure. Maybe, Catherine, what we need to do is decide who we should elevate, not in terms of when they're being allowed to come and join the meeting.
On the day.
On the day.
On the day.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
And you can do it through chat to
Okay.
Vincent. Yes.
Yeah, you can do so privately, don't to everyone. So, yeah, just let both you and Catherine will be responsible for that. Just chat Vincent privately. Just to share an experience, we had a Zoom call with one of the CMUs in the southern part. I think it was the Tanzania CMU on Monday. And we had a corporate link, and Vincent and Nick, you need to know this because we decided to flag it. There was a corporate Zoom link that was shared, and we had people hack into it. It was such a mess. It really was a mess. So anyway, moving
what
on.
What was the mess? I'm just curious.
The mess is that we members of the public got a hold of the Zoom link, and they joined the call and started saying really inappropriate things on a round table. It was horrific. The team is really traumatized.
Sorry, so sorry to hear that.
It won't happen to us.
No, it won't. And that's the reason why WebEx is good, because then you can choose who's an attendee. And once they're an attendee, they cannot speak, even if they have the link. So that's good. Okay, I don't have anything else to add, so I'd like to open this up for AOB. Does anybody have any question, any clarification?
No. In my case, it will be just the timing of the talking points for the new country manager, and I'll be liaising with Doreen.
Sounds good. Is Eugenia on this call?
Yeah, she is. I see
Okay.
her connected. One more thing, I see we have a...
Hi, Eugenia. How are you? You owe me an email or a call, so we can take that offline.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Vera, I see Q&A on this. Will this also be available on the YouTube? Because we also need to have the participants alerted on that they can post their questions on this on the Q&A section.
So the YouTube link does not have a chat function, but
I
I'll,
would
I'll,
think
I'll
so.
let Vincent and Vicky comment on that. I don't think it does. We've done this for a number of our events. The place where people can drop their questions as per our previous agreement was on our Somalia Twitter handle and the group chat one. And the agreement with Ismahan and Wasame is that in addition to monitoring the chat on here, actually Ismahan can monitor the internal chat, I think is what we agreed on and discussed with her. And Wasame will be looking at any questions on our Twitter handle and on the group jog Twitter handle. And he will drop those questions in the chat here. If they're in Somali, he will drop them in Somali. If they're in English, he will drop them in English. Ismahan will translate those questions, and I will take the English ones.
So when you say I will be monitoring the internal, so that would be the ones that the ministers, some of the ministers, if they choose to speak Somali, so that is what I will handle.
Okay,
Right?
there are two things here. Okay, there's the chat. We have the chat function here.
Which is what we have now internally as the team.
Yes, here in WebEx. So what Wasame will do is that if the public has any questions, he will get them and he will post them on here in English and in Somali. If they are in Somali, you will read them out and then translate them into English so that the rest of us know what you're talking about. And then we will decide, like I will decide who gets to answer that question. If the question is for the minister, I will direct it to the minister to translate it into English. If the question is for John or Matthias or Christina, I will do that. So you will look at this chat. In addition to that, your translation role will be, if let's say Dr. Bailey says something in Somali, you will translate it into English. You're muted.
Sorry, the bit I wanted to understand is what Summer will feed the questions on the Twitter and on GovJoke website onto the chat. And then if they're Somali, I will immediately send it to you. And then on top of that, I will say it in Somali and then translate it into English.
Okay, you won't need to send it to me. Okay, you will just read it out. If it's in Somali, you'll read it out in Somali and translate it into English.
Yeah, but will
I
I
have no idea. Sorry?
How will I then notify you that Warsame has sent me a question? So I just text you via the chat.
You will, during the Q&A,
yeah.
Once the presentations have been made and we close that, we will then turn to you and Wasame and ask if you have any questions in the chat for the panelists. Then you will read out the questions. If it's in Somali, we'll read it in Somali, then translate it into English. I will be listening, so once the question is asked, I will direct it. Normally, I do this myself. I normally monitor the chat function and I get the questions and I ask them. If they're in English, that's fine. I will do that. But if they're in Somali, I'm not able to read them. And that's where you come in. Okay?
Absolutely. I understand that.
So
exactly
I will
that.
turn to you and say, if there are any questions in English, I will start by asking those. And I will also let you know to queue up any questions you have in Somali. What we will do is that we will take 3 questions at any given time. So a round of 3 questions, give the delegation, the panelists an opportunity to answer those 3 questions, and then we'll take another round of 3 questions. So if there are any questions in English, I will start off with those to give you time to prepare the ones in Somali, so you can
Thank
read them
you.
out. Okay?
Thank you.
Does
Thank
that
you.
help?
Absolutely.
Okay. Excellent.
And then Warsame will look onto the Twitter and the Gov joke.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. And Wasame and the team from Group Jog, Hassan and Mohammed, just make sure that you let your listeners know that they can drop whatever questions they have on those, your Twitter handles, and we will make sure that they are answered live. Okay? So Wasame, is that okay with you?
Yeah, absolutely. We will put the Q&A Somalia. That's how we receive the questions.
Okay, excellent. So just work closely with Hassan and you monitor both Twitter handles and just drop any questions as they come into the chat function. All right. Okay. Any other questions?
Sorry, there I had one more clarification on how many people are going to the office so that we can plan this as well. Was it decided?
Good point. This was on my list to ask. Thank you very much, Vinny. Who needs to go to the office? John, Catherine?
John Randa will go to the office.
Okay. Have you asked for permission?
No. I will
There's
do
a
it
whole process.
I'll do it on Monday. Why?
Monday is too late. We can advise. Just a moment, Ismahan.
Sorry.
Yeah, just hold on one moment. Wycliffe, maybe can you advise John on? We still have Wycliffe on his left. Vincent, do you know the process for requesting permission to go to the office?
Yeah, it's just an email to Camille and Manuel at the same time. I see Camille is away this week, so Manuel is approving. It should be the day before to allow them time. They do it in the morning when they do it before the close of the day for the next day.
So long as it
Monday is fine.
So long as it doesn't require a test, I'm okay.
Evelyn, you will require to fill in a form, and if you answer yes on any of those questions, you'll not be allowed into the office. So if you've traveled, yeah.
Evelyn, be nice.
Guys, I wouldn't worry about John. I wouldn't worry about John at all.
Okay, excellent. We'll leave that to John's capable hands. You've been told what the process is. Monday is good timing, so just put it in by then. You are our star presenter, so we cannot do without you. Just bear that in mind.
Okay, the only issue help you would need is what color of suit to wear, maybe.
Oh, come on, Catherine, be nice.
Okay, this is too much information.
I have a wife now.
Oh, goodness. Okay, we have journalists on this call. Please, let's take this offline. Okay, so looks like, John, you're all set, suit, access to the office. Vinny will get you a new headset, and yeah, sounds good. Okay, if there are no further questions, I would like to close this. If you think of anything else, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We'll be more than glad to help you. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Look out for the invite from Vincent. Make sure you're logged in by 8:15. Check your internet connection ahead of time, and all the best on Wednesday.
Lastly, I just want to give thanks to all of you. Thank you for this preparation, and we hope we'll have a great event on that day. Unfortunately, those who are not in Nairobi, but those who are in Nairobi, I'll have a mbuzi for you on that day on a Friday, if it goes
Yay!
well.
Oh, come on! Don't
if
ruin
it
the
goes
party.
well, it needs to go well so that Sawa. Thank you guys.
We will stay sharp.
Thank you
Thank you,
all.
John.
Will go
Thank
well.
you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Have a good weekend. Ciao. Bye.
Ismahan, was your hand raised? I think they skipped you. You're muted. You are muted.
What I was going to say was, if the option to go to the office is available, yes, why not? But that's all it was. But other than that, as John said, if there is testing and problems, then I don't have to. I am now back in Nairobi, and today I had no connection problem, so it's fine. It was only an option, but I'm quite happy to work from home. That is perfect for me.
Your camera looks okay. One thing I wanted to remind you, you have to mute each time we are done. Because if
Okay,
you
that I'm learning. That I'm learning. Sorry about that.
You will be speaking. So on the day, it's fine. This is just a dry run so that we can fine tune many things. So if you can remember to mute once you're done. Otherwise, I'll keep on muting you, and then maybe you'll forget that you're muted.
And what about the video? What about the video? So because I'm needed to do that live translation, will I have my video on all the time? What would you prefer?
You will join in as an attendee, and then your name is a panelist. So I'm going to upgrade everybody on that list to be panelists. So don't worry about that. Your video will be on, and you'll be at the bottom. So what WebEx does is the last person to speak, the last few people to speak are the ones who will be highlighted at the bottom. You understand? So it will keep on changing that. It's dynamic, the picture that is on the bottom. So the more somebody speaks, the more the picture remains prevalent on the screen.
Yeah. So in my case, it will be. I think the most important thing is when I do the translation of the talking points of the country manager. So that is, I think, the main thing.
Don't worry, your picture will come up to everybody. So long as you're speaking, it will be prominent.
Okay. Thank you so much, Vincent.
You're welcome. I will make sure. I am so sorry. I don't know how you were missed on this one. I think I may have invited your World Bank email. I invited your World Bank email. That's why.
What you do, invite me on both emails so that they're secure.
I agree. I agree. So I'm going to send an email just now for everybody's attention.
Thank you so much.
Very well. Have a good day. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.